Okay, so that takes us to our next pillar, which is duplication. And like Christina said, a lot of your best business builders are going to come from product lovers, because I would say about 10% of people actually join Plexus for the opportunity. The other 90% join because they want results from the products. So generally, though, you have to be willing to follow up with people about the opportunity. A lot of times when people are coming to me and they're saying that, well, I got all these people that love the products, or I got all these people that will join for the products, they're interested in the products, but nobody's interested in the business. I know that they're not, either A, not talking to people about the opportunity, or B, they're not following up with people about the opportunity. They mentioned it to them one time and they weren't interested, and they just took that no for an answer. So that comes from a lack of belief in the opportunity. Because would you give up on people about the products? If you got a lot of people happy on their products or wanting to order products from you, but nobody's wanting to work the business, that's an issue with you. You're not sharing something. You're not saying something right. You're not following up. All right, so duplication is where the magic happens. So this business oftentimes feels like rolling a snowball up a hill. And the higher you get up the hill, the heavier it can feel. But when the snowball takes off on the other side of the hill, and then it gets bigger, basically on its own with little or no effort from you, that is where duplication has happened, okay? And that happens from doing these activities. So if you want to build a huge organization, you cannot recruit yourself to Ruby or Senior Ruby or Emerald or beyond. In order for you to build an organization, build a team, you have to have some people who want to work this business with you. And these are the activities that you need to do to create those people. So first of all, connect with one active business builder. That means coaching your people. So if you are, it says one coaching call. So what does this mean, Emily? Connect with one active. What's the difference between connect with one? Okay, so if you have people, what? What is it? I don't. Okay. I don't know what I meant. What do you think it means? So, what's the difference? Okay.
Okay, so to connect with an active business builder, that's someone who's actively working the business. So that can just be a quick text, hey, how's it going? How are points and joins looking for you today? Tell me what feels, difficult. Just any kind of interaction with people on your team that are working. Really, when you have a large team, you're connecting with more than one of those a day. I mean, most of my workers in this room, I'm connecting with on the daily, if not on the daily, on the weekly. So just connecting with your people. People won't know what to do if you don't tell them. You can't assume that they'll know to post. You can't assume that they'll be able to come up with a message on their own. You can't assume that they'll be able to handle someone's objection. So that could just be sending them a great training video that you think they could relate with. It could be really anything. Just touching base with them if you have somebody who is producing and somebody's working hard on your team. It's your job to pour that belief into them.
Yeah, and then that can lead to the coaching call.
Right.
That's what it meant. So here's the thing.
It's that baby brain already.
So with duplication, and you're connecting with these active business builders, don't assume that if somebody says, yeah, I want to make money, I want to do the business, or yeah, I'm going to share with people, or yeah, sure, I'll post on Facebook. Don't assume that they know what they're doing, because they don't. Okay, and also, if they were excited about the business and then you're not hearing from them, that's generally not a good sign, because here's what's going to happen. They're going to be excited, and they're going to reach out to 10 of their closest friends that they just know are going to be excited too, and then they're not, and then they're going to, 8 of them ignored them, and one said no, and then one was like, sure, what you got? I'll watch your video, and then they're going to feel like, oh, well, maybe I'm just not good at this. That's what a new person will feel like. And so it takes a leader to come along and say, hey, how are you doing? Last we talked, you were going to post on Facebook and then reach out to the people who liked it or commented on it. So how's it going with your reach outs? If you're expecting your business builder to come to you and saying, well, I'm feeling all these feels, maybe I'm just not cut out for this, I'm feeling rejected, and that hurts my feelings, and my best friend was a hater, And they're just not going to do it. They're not going to tell you all those things. And so you have to be the initiator to bring these conversations up, because I'm telling you, it's not a matter of if they're going to feel some rejection. It's a matter of when. Because we all feel that, right? Especially if we just know somebody needs it and they ignore or whatever. Okay, so that's just a normal part of the business. And it takes a leader and a mentor to help somebody through those things and let them know that it's normal. That we all, like even the most successful people get a 1 out of 10 response rate. If they know that, it's just so encouraging to that person, especially if they're new, to think, oh, well, I guess that's normal, and if there's people out there experiencing that and still being successful, then maybe I can too, okay? But if you're not doing this on the checklist, connecting with these people, then you're not going to know what they're struggling with. And they could just quit without even telling you. They got self-defeated before they even really started, okay? So be that leader, be that mentor for these people, and initiate those conversations.
And I think it has to do a lot with the expectations up front on the opportunity as well. Just like you don't oversell the product, you're not going to hear Brittany or I ever overselling this opportunity. It's easy. You should do it with me. It's easy. Like, you know, we tell people, if you want to build this with me, I will run right with you. I will match your pace. Listen, this is work. This is not a lottery ticket. And so if you've set them up and they understand, okay, listen, we're going to reach out to these people first. Just know it's really normal that maybe 2 out of the 10 will respond. Totally normal, girl. I have exactly an answer for how we'll deal with the other 8. So just letting them know ahead of time some perspective. Sometimes having that perspective is very helpful. I remember when I got my first epidural, if they had just told me, it's fine, honey, it's easy, I would have probably lost my mind. But they told me what to expect. They gave me some perspective, and I didn't think I was going to die. So you just have to, don't make the opportunity seem like it's just going to be this easy walk in the park. Some people will have some quicker success, but even those that you see with this quick success, they got problems, they got challenges, we all do. Show me any career where you can make the amount of money we're making and it not require work. So anyway, that was my own paper.
Yeah, I mean, that was really good. And if you feel like you're struggling to create business builders, because by the way, business builders are not found. I hear people oftentimes say, I just haven't found my business builders yet. Business builders are not found, they are created. And so my first question would be, how many people have you talked to about the opportunity this week? How many people have you followed up with about the opportunity this week? How many people have you gotten in front of an opportunity presentation this week? How many people have you gotten on a 3-way call with your upline this week? Those would be my questions, because that is what it takes to build this. Okay, you got to get people excited about the opportunity. And some of you are new, so I'm going to share this illustration because this really encouraged me in the beginning. But when they do network marketing conventions, not company specific, but sometimes they'll have like network marketing general conventions where they'll pull in top leaders from lots of different companies and have them on a panel. And they will ask them, how many people have you personally enrolled into this business? And the average is about 100. Top level leaders in a company have sponsored personally an average of 100. And then they will say, out of the 100, how many of those make you the most money? And it is unanimous every time. The answer is always either 2 or 3. So you don't know what your odds are going to be. You don't know. Christina was the first jewel on my team, and she was the 36th person that I enrolled. So you don't know what your odds are going to be. You just have to be willing to share the opportunity with people, not give up on people, follow up with people, and tell them what you see their potential is. Okay? But these are the activities you need to be doing. So connect with your active business builder, 3-way call or chat with a prospect. So this is how I went from silver to emerald in 1 year. That I was definitely excited about the opportunity and sharing it with every person who ordered products from me. But I wasn't just creating workers. I was creating workers under my workers, because I would tell my people who were wanting to build a business, I would say, when somebody joins you, let's get them on a 3-way call. Every single level 2 I had come into my team, I was doing a 3-way call with them. And because my level 1, they are new, they might not know what to say yet, And so I would just get on there and share my story and share the opportunity with them. And a lot of times people will walk away from a three-way call saying, okay, I want to do the business too. And then my level one will hang up and call me and say, I had no idea they were interested in the business. And I'd be like, did you share the business? So I would create workers for my workers by doing three-way calls with them, because if you want to keep your level one worker motivated and excited, there's nothing that excites and motivates somebody more than when they have somebody on their team who wants this as bad as they want it. You as a leader can cultivate that for your people by doing three-way calls with their people, or by doing events with your level ones and their people. Whatever you got to do to get in front of their people so they can hear your passion and enthusiasm. And if you don't know what to say, the good news is you can learn what to say, because we got a lot of examples on video, and I've always just found a good video that I like and memorized the whole thing verbatim. And I get up in front of everybody and I just quote it, whatever I memorized, and then everybody thinks I'm smart and I didn't invent any of it. So you can do that too, because we have tools that are duplicatable. All you have to do is memorize, okay? But you do have to be willing to get on three-way calls. When I first started doing three-way calls, I was so nervous because I'm an introvert, and I would write down everything I wanted to say, and I read it. No, they didn't know I was reading because I'm animated, but I was reading, and I read it like 20 times, and finally I didn't need to read it anymore. But I mean, that is what I did in the beginning, and it got me a lot of success because I was getting a lot of people who wanted to work the business because I was excited about the business, okay? So you need to be doing at least one three-way call with your downline every day. If you don't have somebody in your downline to do three-way calls with, guess what you need to be doing? You need to be doing them with your upline.
You're wrong on a downline.
If you don't have one, get one.
You want a downline and don't got one, go get one.
All right, if you don't have business builders, you need to be taking your level ones to your upline. Okay, you need to be doing a three-way call every day, whether it's down or up. It doesn't matter. Okay, three-way calls. If you don't have one, get one.
And let's go ahead and address those of you in the room who are probably like me. You're thinking, I ain't getting on the phone.
Oh, yes,
I ain't getting on the phone. She'd say, get on the phone, Christina, up or down, bring them to me or you do them. And I'm like, I can't get on the phone. I teach all day. I'm in the car at 4. I have kids in the back seat. I ain't getting on the phone, Brittany. Like, they'll just, text will have to do. Well, her paycheck kept growing. Guess who's didn't? Mine. You have to be, people won't open up to you the way that they will on the phone through a text message. So, and here's what shifted for me. Not only did I see it as a chance to connect with that person, I just started viewing it as a teaching time for my level one. So it was kind of a 2-for-1, and I like 2-fers. And so for the amount of money I was investing in that call, I was connecting with this prospect, hopefully casting vision about the business. But more importantly than that to me was that I was teaching my level one how to do it. I was building her belief, showing her, okay, I don't have the time for this either, but you see me make the time. So you're going to have it. Getting on the phone is 100% essential. It is just going to be the most important thing that you have to do for your business. So figure out how to fit it in. Figure that out. 1 30-minute three-way call a day can be fit in. Just make it a priority. And if it can't be fit in during the week, then I guess you need to do a couple on Saturday if you want to make $30,000 a month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, everything on this sheet you can knock out in 3 hours. Every single thing on this sheet. And that, I mean, that's minimum what you need to put into your business. If you're talking about compressing a 30-year career into 3, I mean, most people work their whole entire lives and don't make $30,000 a month, right? So you can create that. I'm telling you, you can create that. And these are the things that you do. All right, and if you were to fill out one of these sheets, one every day for 30 days, except Sundays. I give you Sunday off. It's the Lord's Day. But if you were to bring me 30 of these that you filled out in a row, and you were honest, and I saw which check boxes were missing, I could tell you exactly what part of your business you're struggling with. Either you're not going to be recruiting, or you're going to be recruiting and you're not holding on to your people, you're losing people quick as you're getting them, or getting tons of people, but you ain't duplicating. I mean, I could look at the sheet, at the work that you were doing, and tell you I pinpoint for you exactly where you're struggling in your business, okay? So 3-way calls are important. You have to do them, up or down. And if you don't know what to say on a three-way call, there's a video in the team page called What to Say on a Three-Way Call.
I was really hoping you did not miss a beat right there. And went with it.
No, I actually don't think it's called that. I think it's called What I Say About the Business on a three-way call or something like that. Anyway, I use a three-way call to connect with people. It's not just to sell people. I do ask questions and try to get to know who the person is and like how I could serve them, what problems I could solve for them. So that's a skill that you can learn. But on that video, if you don't know what to say, you can memorize that. Okay, it's in Plexus Freedom Team. Okay, and then one coaching call a day. That's so important. You have to be coaching your people because we, especially as women, we got emotions. We got feelings about things. And sometimes you just need somebody to help you work through those feelings and offer perspective. And so sometimes I feel like an overpaid life coach because people do struggle with, there's things in this business that can really hold people up. Oftentimes it's fear in some form. Fear or pride, they're usually two sides of the same coin, but fear of what people think, or fear of failure, or comparison. I mean, there's a lot of things that your team members could struggle with in this business as they continue to grow. And if they have a mentor there who's willing to help them through those hurdles and over those challenges that they will inevitably face, because there's no such thing as success without challenges, right? And in anything in life, not just Plexus, but I mean parenting, or I mean any career. So there will be challenges, and you just should be on the phone with your people, talking to them and helping them through those things, training them. Anything else about coaching?
I have a lot of things about coaching, but here's what I'll say. For those of you that are just starting out, you won't have somebody to do a coaching call with necessarily every day. So use that time to just continue what you coached on yesterday. So if I don't have anybody today that I'm supposed to do a coaching call with, then I'm just going to touch back to Brittany, who I coached yesterday, and check in. Hey, I know yesterday we talked about this. Tell me how things are going. And maybe that's a voice message, and that's totally fine. So some of you, as you're starting out, this won't take you 3 hours. This might take you an hour and a half or 2 hours. And then as you get, your team grows and grows and grows over time, the idea is that you'll become more efficient, and that you'll be spending time on the most important things. Coaching. There's a difference in coaching and dragging. We're not talking about getting on the phone and begging. A coaching call is someone who is, their feet are matching their mouth. They have goals, and you're giving them tangible action steps to take, and they're taking them. And you're holding them accountable to the action. So people say, I don't know what to say on the coaching call. I'm going, well, you're asking how things have been since the last one. You should have given them some things to go and be working on. You're just checking in. How'd that go? I know that you were really fighting having to get on the phone with your team. Last we talked, you were going to make it a priority. Tell me how that's going. So it's just a matter of a continuation from the previous coaching call. So notes are really important. Taking notes on my phone, a lot of the times I'm in my car when I'm doing it. So when I hang up the call, I'm like, okay, Jackie said she's working on this. I'll write Jackie struggles. I'll write down what she says she struggles with. Wins, what she's excited about. I'll write who is she excited about? Who is she mentoring? And I'll just take notes so that the next time Jackie and I are on the phone in a couple days, I'm going, hey, tell me more about this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I love that accountability better. So coaching is not necessarily training, although some training does take place. The goal of coaching is to lead people to their own conclusions by asking questions. And here are some questions that I generally ask on any coaching call. Tell me what you're excited about. What are you most excited about in your business right now? Tell me what challenge you're facing in your business right now. What feels hard? And those questions can get some good conversations happening. And then it's really a process of just continuing to ask questions. You have to fight the urge to, one, be an expert or know-it-all, and two, talk too much. On a coaching call, you should definitely be listening more than you're talking. It should be a healthy balance. You shouldn't be, there's nothing worse to me than getting on a coaching call and listening to somebody vent for an hour, or just complain, and they add no value back. We all have hurdles and obstacles. And so whenever somebody is saying, well, I didn't do my IPA the last 3 days because I had this, and this going on in my life, and I'll just say, well, tell me why. Tell me more about that. Why does that feel hard? Or why do you think it's a struggle to get your IPA? How long does your IPA take? Like, I literally just keep asking questions to get to the root. And the root is almost always fear. It's almost always fear of some sort, okay? So you just have to keep asking questions. I have a list of questions somewhere because I think that coaching, a lot of times people struggle with it because they don't know what questions to ask, or they don't know how to help their person who is struggling. And this is a skill that you'll get better at over time. You can get really good at it by listening to your upline do it. If you have an upline who's really good at it, have them do a coaching call with your team who is working. Now, make sure, if you are going to bring somebody to your upline, make sure it's worth their time. Like Christina said, it needs to be somebody who is producing, whose feet is matching their mouth, because this is a business. It's not a charity, right? We're not giving all of our time away because we got families. But if somebody is serious about their business and they're just hitting a hard time or a mindset block or whatever, because mindset is often huge, then a coaching call usually can help them overcome a lot.
Here's a good question to keep in mind if you don't know what to say in any conversation with a prospect or a coaching call or whatever. Help me understand. Help me understand. You've been excited about Plexus for a long time. You haven't pulled the trigger yet. Help me understand what's holding you back. Or you were really excited about working this business last week and you've gone back to work this week and you seem a little defeated. Help me understand. And it just invites them to be able to share.
Yeah, and you might not be doing coaching calls every single day. The main times I do coaching calls at the beginning of the month. I like to do like a reflection type thing with people who are working, and just get on and say, how do you feel about the way your month went, the previous month, and what are your goals for this month? And then at the end, you can ask them, at the end of the month, you can say, hey, your goal was this. Are you on track? What do we need to make any changes? Anything holding you back? I mean, just basically it's connecting with them and just seeing what their issue might be and figuring out what training they might need. All right, anything on that? Helps on duplication? What about getting people to work the business? Because we talked about that. How are we doing on time?
Well, we talked about how to get people to work the business.
We did.
Talk about the business and follow up. I don't know.
We did.
I mean, how you get people to work the business. You talk to them about the business. You invite them to a presentation that could take place in the form of this. That could take place in the form of a three-way call. That could take place in the form of the vision casting call I did last night. You are very, very blessed to be on a team with endless opportunities for you to plug people in. There's just flat out no excuse. If you want this, it doesn't matter if you don't know what to do with your people. Utilize what's available to them. There's always something about to go on. If you don't know what's about to go on, ask somebody. But the best way to get people to talk about the business is, number one, talk about your business. Share on social media what this business is meaning to you or what it will mean to you. I talk about the opportunity way more than I talk about the products. I always have. I might lead with the products, but I'm always dancing back and forth. Because here's what I'm listening for. Oh, they can't join because they have a price objection. They can't afford it yet. Perfect. To me, sounds to me like you need an opportunity. And I'll say, hey, did you know that you'll get a referral link when you get started with me? And if you let me just help connect with 3 of your friends, I can help you make $400 this month. Would that be a blessing for your family? That's planted seed number 1. Mm-hmm. So I never shy away from talking about the opportunity, ever.
So I was one of those in the beginning who could not afford the products because we were a one-income family and we have a lot of kids and we homeschooled, and I mean, $100 was a lot of money to us, and so I knew I didn't want that to always be the case though. I knew I didn't want to live that way the rest of my life where I couldn't afford an extra $100. I knew that I didn't want that. And so I was definitely open to the opportunities. I'm really, really glad that my upline followed up with me and believed in me and didn't give up on me, because I wouldn't be a diamond either if she had. If she was too scared of what I was going to think of her to follow up with me, my life would look completely different right now if Fallon had been too scared of what I thought of her.
And so would many of ours.
So that's true. I'm going to cry.
Don't cry.
All right, what do we do now? How do you do this?
Do I need to do something with it?